Never in a million years would I guess I'll be talking about a remaster of this game. Out of all the Wii Fitness games in its library, Active Life Outdoor Challenge would be the one with the current gen remake. I would put $1,000 on Smurf's Dance Party over this game. Coming out way back in 2008, God, how sad is it that that's way back. This minigame collection was part of the Family Trainer franchise, a franchise that is so old it has its roots in the NES era back in the 1980s. Ever heard of the PowerPad? Yeah, that's what these old NES games used to use. Man, I can't wait to do some reviews on those old NES games, man. The Wii version used a similar pad system instead of the traditional DDR pad or the Wii Balance Board. It looks pretty much the same as the PowerPad as well. In 2001, they published a new version of this game without using that mat. Now, in 2022, I realize it's my goal in life to review this game. This is the game that deserves to be brought back from the Wii Fitness grave, or should that honor have been gone to Dance on Broadway? I swear you all have been sleeping on that fantastic game. Where is my goddamn sequel? Roll that intro, because we are going to be living the Active Life Outdoor Challenge. Indoors on the Switch. This is Fitness Game Reviews.
For self-improvement, crafts, and fitness games, go ahead and turn on YouTube and watch Jack.
2008 was also a great year on YouTube. Back when most channels had intro songs, terribly scripted sections, and long-winded intros, trying to bring back that AVGN vibe. As I said previously, the Nintendo Switch Remaster does not use the Family Trainer game mat. Instead, all the movements are now mapped to the Joy-Cons. You hold one in your hands and the other tracks your leg using the leg strap. Finally, another game is using this thing. The Wii Balance Board got like 50 games on it, and this thing only's got 3. Speaking of, I can't wait to get to Let's Get Fit. It's gonna be a fun time ahead. Now, all we need is another one of these things that use the ring accessory. It's got almost 15 million sales, so I'm going to be sure another game will use the ring soon. To play multiplayer, you need to get 2 straps, even though you go back and forth. That's right, there's no simultaneous play. So after my trip to Amazon, my fiance and I were able to tackle this game together. That's what true love is. Playing terrible fitness Switch games for a review channel that barely got any subscribers. When you start up the game the first time, a handy equipment guide begins with video footage on how to put on the leg strap. It's a really nice feature that I like more than just a simple image and some text. Although I wish you could skip the video, since I assume most players buying this game has probably used Ring Fit Adventure. I know I have. As a side note, if you are American, then the game was physically released exclusively to the retail chain Target or Target. The game came packaged with 2 additional leg straps. If you're not near Target or Target, it's digitally only for you. After the instructions finish, you get taught the 3 basic actions in this game: running, jumping, and running while jumping. These 3 moves use about like half of the minigames in this collection.
Finish!
Right away, I saw the main issue with this game. This game is definitely developed for smaller movements than larger ones. As a big 6'2", almost 300-pound man, the act of running was constantly registered as jumping because I run like this. My fiance, who's literally a foot shorter than me and much lighter, has no such problems. The game recognizes me correctly when I started kind of doing smaller movements like this, so that way it thinks that I'm shorter rather than trying to jog like this with giant movements. Otherwise, when I did try to do my big movements, my knee would get too high. It would count as a jump. It's a fix for some of the mini games in this game, but others in this collection require more subtle movements than I can provide, which is a big problem. After the game teaches you the 3 movements, you get to select a character, give them a name, and go to the game menu. The game is made up of 3 different modes. Free play allows you to choose the minigame and the difficulty you will be playing. Great if you only want to play the specific ones that don't suck. I'm being a little harsh, but I'm being a little realistic too. Outdoor Adventure is the main mode that allows you to choose a difficulty level and play a group of minigames based on it. In doing so, you unlock more levels and more challenging difficulties. The entire main mode takes about 3 hours to beat, so I don't think it's a long-lasting game or anything like that. Lastly, exercise mode lets you choose what you want to work out, such as cardio, and then brings the mini games that works that specific attribute you want. These 3 options are the exact same for multiplayer version of the game. I wish there was, a simultaneous play, as well as some exclusive modes to try out, such as being cooperative or versus or some other fun things. But no, you just get the single player with 2 player, baby. During my playthrough, I got to the last outdoor challenge before raging due to the control issues. Seriously, it's just so hard. I'll go through them briefly, but first, here's my sheet. With this game, I could burn about 70 calories or more per 10 minutes of playing, depending on the mini games which were selected. That's not too bad, but it's not as good as something as Ring Fit or Let's Get Fit. Again, review of that game is coming soon, playing it now. It wasn't an intense workout, with my heart rate staying at around 130, and it did not cause me to sweat. The game is decently physical for its target market, which of course is kids. It's the same as the Wii version, which was also marketed to kids. You can tell from the weird kid on the cover of the Wii box. Seriously, he looks kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. I plan on doing the series for the Wii as well, so I can compare the two, as well as, talk about the rest of the series, since there's some other games that haven't been released for the Switch. As of now, from what I read, the 2 games are nearly identical, minus the, of course, graphical improvements.
Nice! Nice! Clear!
As this is a minigame collection, I find it best to go through each one of the activities. That way, you can hear me complain about the control issues in each. There are 16 minigames on display here, with some being copies of each other. First up is the Mountain Border. Remember when I said I rage quit this game because of control issues? Well, it's this minigame that does it. You have to jump and flip then move the Joy-Con around to make your character do some tricks. Stop in time to land for some points. What makes this hard is due to the controls. It measures out my jumps with a delay, or it counts it as a double jump. Curse my height, man. And I'm not even tall, so when I jump, by the time it reads me jumping, it'll read that as a second jump. And sometimes when I jump, the character squats instead. It's just a terrible minigame and not programmed well. It's also kind of boring. One much better minigame is Pipe Slider. You have to sit down and shake the Joy-Con to move forward, and then you twist the controller left or right to go up the walls. Hard shake left or right to do a dash, and then you have to kind of hit the boost pads while trying to avoid any of the obstacles. Playing this minigame just makes me really want an F-Zero Switch game. Come on, Nintendo. It's a fun time that's over pretty quickly. Water Trampoline has you pretend to jump on a trampoline and move the Joy-Con to perform basic tricks. It's basic and kind of boring. Next up is Conveyor Runner. This is probably my favorite. You have to run while the platform moves. Otherwise, you will fall into the water. You can jump over obstacles and holes. It's a real fun time and another great workout. Again, this is going to be on my list as the best. The controls issues of me running instead of jumping due to my legs is still happening, but it's not really an issue with the design of this minigame. That and you can't walk too fast that you fall off the front, so this doesn't affect me as much as the other ones. Seesaw Battler had you and an opponent on a log waiting for the panels to flip. If it shows a hand, you gotta move the Joy-Con. If it shows a foot, then you raise your leg. It's an awesome two-player minigame that my girlfriend and I had a blast playing. It's kind of like a standard quick draw type of game, but, 2 players makes it really fun. Speed Roller has you running in place and tilting the Joy-Con to move. You want to go on boost pads while avoiding the slow pads and falling into the floor. It's fun, but I wish there was a more challenging version of this minigame. Again, this is a kid's game, so I shouldn't expect a challenge, but I just want one, man. The previous minigame covered running, so it only makes sense for this one to cover jumping. Stone Hoppers have you jumping on columns while tilting left and right to choose your next jump. A fun one, although, again, I wished for something more challenging. The falling columns and little spikes here and there add a bit of challenge, but not too much for my liking.
Finish!
Kayak Attack is back and ready to be played by Jack. Or it's next up for me to do in this review. Whatever. I couldn't think of a rhyme. This is my fiance's favorite minigame in the entire package. The player rolls the kayak down a river while avoiding waves that slow you down. Get on the rainbow strip for some speed. You can actually jump in this one, which is pretty cool. Not sure how that would work in real life, but oh well. Who knew that this game was so unrealistic? It was a lot of fun with you just paddling like you would, jumping over waves and stuff. It's, a good time. Are you sick of running in place? Well, another game has you doing that. Head On Hurdler has you running and jumping over hurdles. Like 5 other games in this collection, are just like the running and jumping. Speaking of, Jump Rope is breaking the trend by having you just jump in place. It's boring and nothing new is done. If you want to jump, then get the Jump Rope Challenge game for free. Next is Timber Trail, which has you running in place while jumping over obstacles. Don't really need to say anything more. You've heard me talk about this type of game 10 times now. I'm getting kind of sick of doing this review, guys. Not gonna lie. Let's go. Log Leaper is the same as Jump Rope, except you jump over logs. At least the stage looks like a frog. That's something new. Sprint Challenge. You run in place. It's very different than hurdles because there's no jumping. It uses the same environment though, which is kind of lame. You really couldn't make a new environment for this minigame. Minecraft Adventure. That game's cool. You get a minecart and you have to lift your leg and turn to the directions of the paths. If you slow down, then you gotta shake the Joy-Con. There is also jumping in this one as well with the gaps in the rails. I can't believe a minigame here has more than 3 concepts in it. It's fun, but yet again I wish there was more of a challenge with it. Come on, just 2 minigames left. My legs hurt from standing so long doing this review. I better not have forgotten any, otherwise I'll be pissed off. Mole Madness has you like stomping on the moles. It's probably my second favorite mini game in this game with how violent it is. I love Whack-A-Mole. You just turn the Joy-Con to change your reticle and just stomp, 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 stomp. Lastly, Waterfall Climber. You climb a waterfall and shake the Wii remote to build your power. You then jump up to move it. You can twist the controller to choose which path you go to. In the end, there's this cutscene where you must like stomp back and forth and like shake the Joy-Con all at once. You're like, and then you reach your partner's hand and end the game. It is easily the most cinematic minigame of the bunch. Overall, I would only get this game if you have kids, which, let's be honest, is the entire point of this game. It doesn't really control well for me, but it does for my 5'2" girlfriend, who, would be the size of like a young boy who would typically play this game. I would say that $50 is way too steep for what little content there is in this game. I would put this on your favorites list and maybe wait for it to drop on sale for like $20-30 before picking it up. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give this video a big thumbs up for all the hard work in playing these games and for me standing here for like 30 minutes talking about this game. In fact, I have been so good that I believe you should go through every single one of my videos and give them all a big thumbs up. Maybe that way I can start to get some recognition over here. While you're doing that, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at TrueJackJank. Visit my website at jack-jenkins.com. Lastly, have a fantastic day, everyone. All you guys watching are just so incredibly unique and amazing.
Finish! New record!